Let's now learn how to format individual chart elements. So again, chart elements are anything from the actual title of the chart at the very top to the numbers that are appearing over here on the y-axis to the legend that appears at the bottom. Okay, so they're not integral parts of the chart, right? What's integral to the chart are the actual data markers themselves represented by these columns, but they do allow us to understand what these columns are actually representing, and they sort of elucidate more information. But if there's too many of those chart elements, then we can become a little bit overwhelmed. So it's always this balancing act when deciding how many chart elements to actually include. All right, so let's go to slide 1, and let's click on the chart itself. You'll notice that if I click on sort of the center of the chart, then I'll be selecting that center of the chart so I can see the actual handles appearing there. Just to be safe and just to keep things visually simple, if you're trying to select the whole chart, then just go ahead and click on sort of the outer edge of the chart, and then you'll only see the adjustment handles around that outer edge. Okay, and then you can make changes to the entire chart that way. So with selecting the entire chart and then clicking on More, we're going to select a style, and by choosing a style, we're deciding how we want our chart to look visually. And you'll notice that in each of these examples, okay, it's the same data, but it's just a different representation. So let's choose, let's say, style 8. Okay, and then as far as the chart title is concerned, let's say that we don't want it. So we don't want this element to be included at all. We'll click on the chart title and then just hit our delete key. You'll notice that the chart is going to fill, the plot itself is going to fill the entire space of the chart as a result of deleting that one element. Okay, so once the title is gone, let's also click on axis title and then hit delete, and then the same thing is going to happen horizontally. Okay, so once both of those are gone, we can go ahead and start adding chart elements. And we can do this by just clicking on this plus sign over here on the right-hand side. So let's click on the plus sign, and we're going to add a data table so that we can actually see what the data marker numbers associated with each of these columns actually are. And we're also going to include legend keys. So let's go ahead and click on data table, but let's click on the arrow to the right so that we can choose the more advanced option, right? Because there's, we can have legend keys or not. Legend keys just mean that it's going to show us each of the series colors. So let's go ahead and click on with legend keys. Okay, and so now we're seeing where each of the values comes from, right? So Q1 haunted sites, right? This blue column right here has a value of 1,845 associated with it in terms of the number of people that attended that particular exhibit. Okay. But it's redundant for us to still have the legend down here when we've included the data table that has all of the colors anyways. So this is a perfect example where we'd want to delete that element as well. Let's click on the legend at the very bottom and then hit the delete key. And again, the plot itself is going to take up a greater amount of the chart object itself, represented by these adjustment handles on all of the ends of it. Okay, so now that we've deleted the legend, let's change the color scheme that's being used here. This is very similar to the color schemes that are applied to entire presentations in the form of, the color schemes that are a part of themes, but it's only going to affect the chart itself in this case. So let's go to the Chart Design tab, and let's go then to Change Colors, and let's choose the Colorful Palette 4. Okay, and so what that's going to do is mean that, okay, our primary color is green, our secondary is blue, our tertiary is yellow, and we don't know what the quaternary one would be. We would have to add another exhibit to see what that one actually is. Okay, so, and again, I can even see that right here, right? So here's my primary, secondary, tertiary in the color palette that I selected. Okay, let's go to slide 2 now, and let's give this chart a style as well. So we'll just click on the chart, and then we'll choose from the gallery style 7. And we'll also give this one a colorful palette of 4. Okay, so let's give this a color palette of 4. Okay, and then we can see that the quaternary color is represented in this case because, of course, there are 4 series as opposed to 3 like there were in the previous example.